Hi YouTube friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and I am a registered nurse from Canada. I have always wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I was always scared of doing so because I thought no one would want to watch me, and I kind of used nursing school as an excuse. I was too busy, blah blah blah. And honestly, I told myself that I've graduated nursing school now. I graduated nursing school last year, so I have no excuse, and I don't want to let my fears stop me from doing what I really want to do. And so I decided to finally make a channel. On my channel, I'm thinking of making videos on nursing and possibly maybe medicine later on. I also really enjoy fashion and beauty, so I may make videos on that, as well as just vlogs, lifestyle kind of videos, and motivational videos in general. So if you're interested in those type of videos, then please subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, give me a comment. I'd love to meet you guys, and subscribe to join me for the journey. So for the first video on my channel, I really wanted to talk about how I passed the NCLEX in 75 questions. I know that there are already a lot of videos on this topic, but for my video, I don't want to just focus on the resources that I used, but I also want to just talk about having a positive mindset, how to have the motivation to study for such daunting tests such as the NCLEX, as well as just some general study tips that I found helpful over the years for nursing school in general. Or even if you're not a nursing student, these tips could definitely apply to you. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Really try to manifest a positive mindset, because our biggest obstacles to success are just our own fears of failure and our own self-limiting beliefs. It's not a matter of our capabilities or what we're born with. It's really just about having a positive mindset and just putting in a little bit of work, and you will crush this exam. What I told myself before studying for the NCLEX is the fact that, you know what, we already went through 4 years of nursing school, and nursing school is not easy. It's really tough. We had to pass many difficult tests, and at the end of the day, we had the ability to finish nursing school, so we have the ability to study NCLEX. It's just another test that we have to pass. And after 4 years, we learned a lot of information that we need to kill this exam, and we also established a solid study habit and routine that we can use to apply to the NCLEX. So in terms of how long I used to study for the NCLEX, I personally studied for the NCLEX in 2 months, but everyone's different. Consider what you did in nursing school and stick to that. I know friends who studied in a month, I know friends who studied in 2 weeks, or friends that studied for longer 3 months who all passed. Just go with what worked for you in nursing school. Whether you're someone who likes to study in advance, you can definitely study at the beginning of nursing school. Every day, just do a couple of practice questions, or you can just leave it until the end, like me. Because I'm someone who likes to study later, I like to have that little bit of stress to push me. So that's what I did, and it definitely worked for me. So just stick with what works for you. What's even more important though is to create a realistic study plan. A study plan that you will actually stick with. I scheduled myself in to study from Monday through Fridays, and I left the weekends off. I knew that there was no way I was going to study for 7 days a week. I needed the weekends as kind of an incentive for me and as something that I can look forward to after 5 days of studying. I used a resource called Hurst, which I'll talk about later on. They were 1-hour videos that I would watch, and I'd only schedule in to watch maximum of 2 Hurst videos a day, because that was more achievable and doable for me and a lot more pleasant than scheduling in myself to watch 7-hour videos a day. So find something that's realistic and that you'll actually stick to. And even when you're doing practice questions, the fact is you really need to build your stamina. So you may only be able to do 5 questions at a time, but that's definitely okay. Start off doing 5 questions, build that to 10 questions, and then 30 questions, and eventually up to 75 questions. And the last tip that I have that goes hand in hand with creating a realistic study routine is to study in small, manageable increments. In nursing school, I used to study hours at a time. So I tell myself, I'm just gonna sit down for 5 hours, 10 hours, and just study away. But what I realized is that I never really was active in my studying anyways. I was always on my phone or watching TV, and I found that after an hour, I got tired, I wasn't focusing, and so anything that I read after that hour wasn't entering my brain. So what I would suggest is to use the Pomodoro technique. Essentially what the Pomodoro technique is you set a timer to study for 25 minutes, and then you give yourself a 5-minute break, and then after that 5-minute break you do 25 minutes again, and then have that 5-minute break. You don't necessarily have to follow these exact time increments. You could do 30 minutes and then have a 10-minute break. The main thing is that you work within a time frame that you're able to focus, and that you're actually scheduling in breaks. Research shows that our brain can't focus for long periods of time. We need that break in order to restore our stamina and to restore our creativity. Also, the fact is, studying in small increments makes it seem more manageable and less daunting. If I tell myself I'm only going to study for 25 minutes, I won't think it's that bad, and I'll start studying right away. And most of the time, I actually go way beyond 25 minutes anyways. Make sure that when you're studying, you're setting a timer and you're actually engaged in your studying. Don't study and watch TV. Don't study and go on your phone. Put your phone on silent or airplane mode and just focus for those 25 minutes. Do what you need to do during your break. Another thing that I think is really important is to just be aware of the areas where you're most weak in and focus on that. For me, I created a document of questions that I constantly got wrong, and also study notes on the systems that I was most weak in, and I would review that every day. So in terms of the 3 resources that I used the Hurst videos, I listened to Mark Klimek's audio clips, and I used UWorld to do my practice questions on. I don't recommend reading a 2,000-page textbook such as Saunders, because my whole philosophy is about studying smarter and not harder. And the fact is, you are not going to remember every page of a 2,000 textbook. It's way too much overkill, and I think it's just really important to just focus on high-yield information anyways. You can definitely use a textbook whenever there's a concept that you want clarification on, but I don't recommend reading every page to study. And in terms of my study resources, I started off with watching the Hurst videos first. I really liked the Hurst videos because they were roughly only an hour long, and the videos were really helpful because they went over all the information that you needed for each of the body systems, such as the endocrine system, the cardiovascular system, etc. And it was just a lot more enjoyable for me to watch than thinking about sitting down and reading a 2,000-page textbook. And I'm a visual learner anyways, and the videos did incorporate that visual component for me, and it really taught me a lot. So I definitely recommend starting off with Hurst videos just to establish that base knowledge. After I watched the Hurst videos, I went on to listen to the Mark K audio clips. If I had to choose between either Hurst or Mark K, I would suggest Mark K actually, because he was really enjoyable to listen to. He gave us all the high yield information that you needed to pass the test. He was able to synthesize and explain the information in a way that allowed you to really remember it. I remember writing my test and I just remember him speaking to me and all the funny stories and acronyms that he told. I also just loved listening to him before my test because he not only taught us the material that we needed, but he also gave us really motivating pep talks before the exams as well. I know that the Hurst and Mark K resources are really popular, and so I'm sure if you go to your school's Facebook page, it's probably on there somewhere, and so there's that. After I watched the Hurst videos and listened to the Mark K audio clips, I then moved on to doing the practice questions. The most important thing when using UWorld is to read the rationales. If you're getting questions wrong, they'll explain why A, B, and C are wrong, but why D is right. And even on questions where you answer correctly, it's still helpful to read the rationale because you may learn something that you didn't know before. And also, it's not enough to just study. You really need to learn to get used to answering questions NCLEX style and how they ask questions, because you could know the information, but if the wording of the question is confusing and you're not used to it, you're gonna get the question wrong. And so definitely do lots of practice questions. Before I close this video, I just wanted to share with you guys some more tips and motivational thoughts. So I remember in one of Mark K's clips, he mentioned to go into the test thinking that you're going to write all 265 questions. I know a lot of us, myself included, we're so hung up on wanting to just pass within 75 questions, but if we think in that manner and we get to the 76th question, it's really going to mess with our heads, decrease our confidence, and we're just going to end up failing the test because we're so hung up and disappointed. But if we go in with the mindset that it's okay, we're gonna do all 265 questions, then it'll set us up for success and make us less disappointed. And something that I told myself is that it's okay if I fail because we're so lucky that the NCLEX allows us to have multiple unlimited attempts. And this time we're at an advantage because we've already been through it. We already know how the test is like. Our nerves are much more calm this time. And so we'll definitely kill it at our next attempt. So lastly, just have a positive mindset. Believe in yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back because you finished nursing school, which is such a huge accomplishment already. And this is just one more test that we have to do. Manifest that positive energy, believe in your capabilities, and you guys will kill this exam. I believe in you guys. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to be able to help out. And if you guys have already written the test, please share your experience down below. If you agree or disagree with what I've said, what resources you used, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that really appreciate that. But if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, comment down below, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. I really want to do a video with my dog for my next one. Turn on the notification bell if you want to be notified of my future videos. Once again, I'm planning to make fashion and beauty videos, nursing or medicine videos, and casual vlogs and other kind of motivational videos in general. So if you have any suggestions, just leave them down in the comment below. For now, take care. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video.
Met this girl down by the vine, had long tan legs and big brown eyes, seemed the type I would wanna make.